soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Live from Clovis, New Mexico.
From the Llano Estacado.
Llano Estacado, I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes. Well, the thing is, like, I come to this part of the country, and I say things wrong. Like Chris goes back. He's like, it took him forever to pronounce Burqueño right. This is like Burqueño, Bicunia.
Yeah.
It's like, Chris.
Llano Estacado.
And I'm like, Llano
What's this Llano? Who's Llano? Is he in that Star Wars film?
No, I think it's like, I know it's Yano with a Y, but if you go further east, they say Llano.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. That's how
Well,
I
that's
would.
back east. Who the hell gives a shit about those folks?
When I say east, I'm
just
talking
kidding,
like
just kidding.
100 miles east of here.
Oh.
People say Llano.
I don't.
Amarillo, Lubbock.
Yeah, where's that?
That's
Are you talking about like a double L?
Yeah.
Yeah. Llano? Like Llano del Rio.
But it's two L's, so you think that's double.
That
L
makes
sound.
Lalano.
Lalano.
Who thinks that?
Interesting. All right. So it's our yearly trip to Clovis.
Yay!
For those keeping score, we are at my mom and dad's house. My mom is here on the show with us. If you can see to the right, say hello. No, you're not gonna say hello.
I said hi.
Oh, okay.
I waved.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't like see out of my peripheral for that.
Okay. Hello.
Is the video coming through? Do you know?
Let me check.
the video for
but
us.
we're excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm always excited. It's always like a tradition to go to Portales the night
Yeah.
before.
And get wrecked.
And then this year I was actually pretty tame compared to years past.
Yeah, you didn't lose anything.
I didn't lose my glasses. I think last year during this time, or maybe it was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I basically lost my glasses in Portales. Did the show live in Clovis, thinking like my glasses are lost. There's no way. Then, sure enough, they resurfaced back in Portales. So before we went home on Sunday, we had to drive back to Portales to get my glasses.
Well, that's right. That was last year. I remember that.
Did he get wet on by a dog last year too?
No, that was the year before.
That was the year before. I mean, so he's making leaps and bounds here.
Yeah. We got our friend Matt with us too. It is the Halloween show. Let me show you guys Matt before everybody's like, who's Matt? We call him Spam. Some people do anyway.
I don't. I call him Matt. He's just Matt.
There he is.
How you doing?
And so yeah, every year is like a new thing to happen.
Yeah.
But this year I kept it tame. We went to, of course, Goobers because Goobers is closing.
Rest in peace.
SK, they're closing on December 1st, which sucks because that was my watering hole as a
young lad,
young college kid.
As a young
slash.
were you a young gooberin? Is that the terminology?
Gooberian?
The thing is, this is before like people had access to like media on their phones, so I can remember in not Clovis, but Portales, having the marquee say, we went to come in and have Goobers is closing.
Why is this?
SK, they're closing.
Cool. Sorry.
And just seeing the marquee, because if you live in Portales, you know somebody who either works at Goobers or has worked, or you work there.
Well, how else did you get free beer?
Oh, of course.
I mean, what? What happened? Whoops.
So I knew the bartenders. I think it was Sarah Gallegos. Was bartending, and she
naming names.
I'm snitching.
He named name.
No, but she made a drink, like of all like the shitty well drinks, like a Long Island iced tea, but it was basically called a Cobra. It's like Canadian Club.
Ew.
Like all the shitty ones, and she put whatever in it, and
all the finest, shittiest liquor,
and it was called a Cobra. And on the marquee, it said, "Come in and try a Cobra."
Wow.
That was the best.
Never got a drink named after myself.
That's how you're hooked. You're all, Cobra.
And the fucked up thing is, like, I'll go to people I know from Eastern New Mexico who go to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
They still call me. I have like 2-3 people that still call me.
It's funny though because he tries to get people in Albuquerque to call him that, and no one will.
No one.
He's like, everybody calls me Cobra, and everybody's like, we're not calling you Cobra, Billy. And he's like, okay.
So basically, how it happened is I had this like avatar on. This is before Google or like being able or Yahoo search, but when the internet was new, you would play like Jeopardy online.
Yeah.
And this is before you can actually, check shit online, like search. And so, you play against other people, and they have these avatars. And I think it was like on like some gaming site. I can't even remember what it was, like Flash Games.
Billy, at what point in history, when internet was involved, that you could not use a search engine?
Actually, there was quite a bit. If you really want to be technical.
And we're talking like 2000.
Yeah.
2000.
Well, there was like
99.
Nexus, Lexus, Lycos. There was
Lycos,
yeah.
Never mind.
Web crawler.
Alta Vista and Web
Alta
Crawl.
Vista.
I was nitpicking. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
Were you? Was this like Telnet?
Telnet, yeah. He was playing Muds.
You're playing Muds on
And even if
Telnet?
you did search for something on a search engine, like say anything before like 2004, you're not gonna find much shit. There's not that information, like enough web pages to actually pinpoint what you're searching for.
For Jeopardy.
For Jeopardy, yes, there wasn't that back then. So now you couldn't do it because you can just Google it right away, and you can get your answer. But anyway, I was Cobra, and it was my avatar was an old lady with an afro.
Oh wow.
And so it was. I just thought it was funny, and so I introduced myself as Cobra to a party, and like, yes, you're Cobra. And it wasn't until my friend Richard. It's like I'm not calling you anything else. You're Cobra from now on. And sure enough, people from Eastern, there are people that only know me as Cobra. They don't know my real name is Billy. So that's how good. That's how cool it was. That's how prominent to my identity it was that people didn't know my name was
Yeah.
Billy. They just knew me as
I'd
Cobra.
like to ask Matt a question about, maybe he knows, I don't know. He may be out of the scene, he may be out of the loop, or maybe somebody in the world can tell us.
We have a call on, right?
What's that?
You
Oh, I don't
remember?
even have it on, but let's see here. Why do the bars stop serving what do you call it?
Drafts.
After 10. What is going on there? Both the bars last night, we couldn't get drafts after 10 o'clock.
I have no idea.
Have you never heard of this?
No. First one I heard about it was when you said something yesterday.
I did overhear like kind of the conversation between the barback and the it's like no more drafts.
Okay.
And I guess it takes too long to pour one, but then again they're serving normal like cocktails
Yeah.
and that takes longer than pouring a draft
Right.
beer.
I don't see. That's where I'm stuck. I don't.
Okay, so it's just laziness? Just
Yeah.
straight
Yes.
laziness.
Okay.
It takes
Well,
too
I mean,
long to do this.
If that's the case, that's the case. I don't care.
It's either that or she's making more money off the
Popping a bottle,
the
yeah.
bottled stuff
Yeah.
that she's shutting down.
Probably, and that could be. I mean, that could be the truth. I don't know.
But we've never seen it anywhere other
no,
than
that has never been a thing.
other than Portales at both bars. It's kind of like we're done serving drafts. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, what?
Right.
And it didn't make any sense to me because the profit margin on a keg is a lot more than bottled beer.
Or maybe it's equal.
Uh,
So, I'm not.
it's not.
I don't
Keg
know.
beer is really cheap.
If anybody can go in the chat and tell us why they don't serve.
Yeah, what's your deal, Portales?
What's your deal, Potales?
Do they have like a delivery charge out here that
Right.
like ups it or something?
They're like,
And
we
then
just
like-
don't want to go through drafts quickly.
And then like I can remember being back 2000 fucking 3-4, and I never had draft beers. I guess
Yeah.
they had maybe like Blue Moon or some shit.
You
They
have-
had Bud Light, a pitcher. It was basically 4 pitchers. That's the reason the draft taps existed back then, was for pitcher. And the thing is, we don't have pitchers in well, we do,
No.
but it was nice to have that throwback.
Oh, with the pitchers last night?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the only place to get it is bowling alleys in Albuquerque.
Wow.
And it's neat because at Goobers they have these tall glasses, like a 24 ouncer, like a
It's like a Stein.
Yeah, Stein,
Yeah.
and they were huge. And I was like, I want one of those. And they have Albuquerque. They had elevated IPA, La Cumbre, shout out. And I was like, I want one of those in the IPA. And she just basically just poured me a
Right, pour him a whole pitcher.
pitcher of elevated IPA.
Yeah.
I was like, sick. I've never seen that happen. I don't think in Albuquerque they can do that.
Yeah.
I'm probably the first person from Albuquerque that had a pitcher of elevated IPA.
You probably are.
Yes.
That was, yeah, because like there you're like, can I have a couple of elevated IPAs? Like, I don't know about that. That sounds like you could.
Well, legally, that's almost 3 drinks. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can. It's 2 16 ounces. I'm
Right.
not sure.
You'll have to leave after that, and you can't drive, all that fun stuff,
Well, in Albuquerque, you have like 5 deranged SID agents who just wander around with badges
Ooh.
and do whatever they want.
Just fucking the ilk.
Yeah. Just dope. So today is the Halloween show.
Spooky Halloween show.
Spooky. I feel scared.
Really?
It's the annual 10-drink minimum spooky show from Clovis,
Yeah.
New Mexico.
And my mom was like, can we do a show? This is kind of a show that she really likes because we talk about Halloween stuff, and my mom really digs crazy Halloween stuff. She used to make me watch like the worst, scary, horrible shit growing up.
Like Gremlins.
She's like, here, you got to watch this with me. And it's like R-rated. People are getting hacked in half, And, then I'd always, people are like, oh, if you watch violent stuff, you become violent. That clearly was not the case for me. I was just more like, these are stupid. I don't care about these anymore. So now people are like, you want to watch a horror film? I'm like, no, I do not want to watch a horror film.
And it's crazy because even as a kid, the Halloween, like the horror movies, I was terrified. I've never even seen Michael Jackson's fucking Thriller video all the way through because I was so scared of when he turns around and he's like a werewolf.
Maybe that was just something you felt that was probably correct.
Yeah.
As a child.
I've never even seen Child's Play, and I heard that's just the goofiest horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a doll that murdered people.
Oh, but we rented it. Well, it's a doll that murders people, yet they're still making movies.
It's
Now
kinda
there's
creepy.
There's a new one called The Cult of Chucky. I saw
Oh,
it the
yeah,
other day.
I can't wait to see it.
Still out. I'm still making movies. Still firing all cylinders. The guy who's... we should look up the actor who did Chucky and see, is he okay?
Oh, he's doing fine.
Yeah,
Are you
he's-
kidding? He's famous.
He's got that
Yeah.
Chucky. He's got that Chucky money. He's like living
He's
on.
in a lot of movies.
Is
He's-
he?
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
he was the pilot in Dune. You remember? He's like the mind. It goes in his body.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Move forward the world.
The thing is, I was scared of like Large Marge and Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
That was I was just a pussy kid, man. Even now, like
We were just kids, man.
I was like 10 years old, and just having that claymation in your face,
And,
and I was like, ah.
it's all Tim Burton because he used to do those anything clay.
And it's whatever it does to my psyche, to my brain, it doesn't feel good. Some people like being scared. I'm like, how?
I did go see It though recently.
See, fuck that. I wouldn't.
I went to a haunted house and then went and saw It in the theater.
Any good?
Yeah, excellent. I like it.
And the haunted house is amazing.
Somebody in the chat says, "Hi, Uncle Matt. Drew mine."
That's Jim's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Says, "Hi, Uncle Matt." So I guess there you go.
Milne. I think it's Milne.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, he's naming names. He's snitching.
he's snitching. He's calling out people.
That's what we
So
call
we,
when
we
you
got
name
the call
names.
going.
Well, no, because if we do, it'll pull down the. I don't want to pull down any more than I can on the stream because it's bogging down right now. I'm gonna have to at the middle chop it. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I did wrong. I think it was me. I flew too close.
It's
to the
your
sun.
fault.
I flew too close to the sun. It's fine. It looks okay. It's
No.
just been freeze up a
Oh,
little
our
bit.
wings are
Now,
melting.
Christopher,
Yeah.
there was one scary movie that even bothered you that we watched.
Which was
The Strangers.
The Strangers. That fucking movie's scary as shit.
Yeah, that's right. And
'Cause
it
we-
scared
Because we
you.
used to live in the country. I have to preface this. First and foremost, the movie, spoiler alert, it's been out for a couple years. You haven't seen it yet. Tough shit. Turn this off. Watch something else. Listen to something else. So the movie is about this couple that goes out into the country, and they're staying in a house, supposed to be a romantic getaway, and some psychos show up and just decide to torment them and then murder them.
That's set in France, right?
No.
No,
We
it's
went this.
It's
here.
like Liv Tyler, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like yeah. And the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is in it. Anyway, living out in the country, when when they would go and do something, like they'd go, leave me at home and leave, you can look out the windows. Like that's the worst thing you could ever do, because there's no street lights out there, so it was just dark for as far as you could see. There was no trees, no nothing. Which I'm glad there wasn't trees, because then at least I could maybe see. So there was always that chance somebody could just come to the window and be staring in the window. And that always scared me.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
actually
fuck that.
really something that actually...
Well, I kept the curtains closed.
Well, but, I've seen a horror film where people kind of... and they kind of stare in the window, and you're making
Well, that shit
popcorn.
happens. Like,
Are you kidding?
it's like-
When I was a kid, I used to go over to my neighbor's house and watch movies through their windows because
Oh, cool.
I didn't have.
See?
Yeah,
See? He was at our house watching movies.
they never
Yeah.
they never saw me. I could.
But
So-
you hear about all the time people like just going to like just like summer homes and just kind of just creeping around there, going inside, and you don't know if anyone's living there or
No.
like at home at the time.
Right.
But if you're like some creep, you're gonna go to these like summer home or like winter homes and just fuck shit up because
Yeah.
there's no one's been there for
No.
months.
Right. And the whole thing and the whole idea behind that movie, spoiler alert again, is there was no motive, no nothing. They just murdered them.
Because they were home.
And because they were home. And at the end of it, they're walking away, and the girl's like, the stranger people do not say more than probably 20 words the entire thing. Not really, maybe 50. And at the very end, the girl looks to the guy, or they're walking away, because they wore masks the entire time. You never saw them. And she's like, we'll do better the next time. And you're just like, oh, you fucking assholes. Killer. Oh,
Pissing me off.
pissing me off. And,
There's not a lot to do in the country.
So then recently, I messaged my mom because this show came out on Netflix called Mindhunter. And I was like, look at this trailer. Watch this.
Worst name for a show too, actually.
Really? I thought it was pretty good.
Mindhunter.
Mindhunter. It seems like it's a really bad show that comes on like PBS. They're all from the with the bad special effects from the 80s where it's all Mindhunter, and the guy's like he moves things with his mind. But no. So the whole preface of the show is it's a fictional show based off of a book written by what was the guy's name, Matt? Do you remember?
Was it Grisham?
I
I
mean,
can't
No.
remember. It's been a while. No, I'm serious. I don't.
Oh really?
if only I had. Let's see. Let me find this. So it's about basically how
The serial killers is what the book was called.
right, yeah, and it's about the guys, the men and women
It's the people that
started the
the whole I don't want to call it an ideology, but of profiling.
well
Do-
they
dossiers.
well they also created the division of the FBI that hunts and tries to stop serial killers before they actually kill.
Yeah, profile them.
Profile. Well, yeah, okay. Let's see.
And what surprised me is the higher ups in the FBI really didn't even they thought they were needless or
Yeah, they
or-
thought it was stupid science, false science. It's actually
Yeah.
based on the crime book Mindhunter inside the FBI's elite serial crime unit, written by Johnny Douglas and Mark Olshaker. And the series is produced by Dave Fincher and Charlize Theron, and she played. What was the serial killer she played?
Monster.
Monster.
The
Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah.
Did she play her?
I just call her the I can't hook
Right.
from that move because she was a prostitute from the South or whatever, and she says I can't.
Didn't she win an Oscar for that?
She did.
She did. I can't hook because she was
Yeah.
hooking. Like,
Right. Well, she would. Yeah, she would. She would let men pick her up on the off ramps, and then she would have sex with them. Then she started killing them because she's had definite serial killer tendencies. But I guess they kind of made her look at. Did you guys see the movie Monster?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I can't.
Because you reference it like all the time.
What?
I've never seen it.
Oh, wow.
I was dating this girl, and she would just do that. It's like I can't, Billy. I can't hook.
Okay, well that's just creepy.
Right.
Really? Do you and this girl still date?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
Thank God.
So Monster came out, and she was.
I'd be like, hey, like, let's like.
Eileen Wuornos, yeah.
It's like, hey, can you hand me that? It's like I can't. It's like, what is? It's because she watched that movie.
She liked that movie a lot.
She's all like, "I'm gonna kill you." I love
But she,
you, Billy, gonna kill you.
But the show is like, I burned through it that weekend, and I think you burned through it that weekend.
When you say burn through, are you talking like 12 hours?
10.
10 hours.
10 hours.
Yes, 10 hours.
So, yeah, definitely.
Substantial amount. That's like a entire shift at work.
Right.
Or like
Exactly. And it was work
Yeah.
because you are there
And
interviewing.
I think it definitely rides the wave of what I like to call crime porn.
Yeah.
This wasn't a thing. Well, I guess it started with like unsolved mysteries kind of thing, and then it got to
Robert
like,
Only
Stack.
you can help us. What did he always say? Only you can help us put away the killer.
and it's because of crime porn that like nobody's gonna allow their kids to like play outside like after a certain time.
I wonder if that's the case. Do you think that really is what happened?
It's because of crime. Like the thing is,
Yeah.
I have a family member. Like my mom, I would go and like not check in for like hours.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then I'd come home, and everything was fine. But till my mom started watching like Forensic Files, shit on like there's channels for this stuff now.
Yes.
She would.
Oh, she knows.
She would never have let. If I were to go back, she would never have let me leave the house. That's the way it is with my nephew. It's like she has a cell phone. They track all of his movements.
Really?
Yeah, and the thing is,
Wow.
like when I was a kid, you know, like you talk to strangers.
And rode our bikes
Well,
around.
yeah,
Went
fucking-
to the store, bought our parents cigarettes.
Oh, please. My
Oh,
son.
please.
But
My
I'm
son.
saying,
no, I bought my older brother cigarettes. There was no problem.
Uh-huh.
without an ID.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't care.
I was like 10 years
Not in
old.
them days.
ID, they didn't ID
Yeah.
anybody. I used to buy my mother cigarettes, and they didn't.
See, it's a long tradition, Billy.
I never do that because I was so happy when I first bought my pack of cigarettes. When I was 18, I was smoking a little bit before that because I had friends who smoked. It's like, I can buy cigarettes now. Here's my ID, sir. I never thought of being like a kid and buying them.
Well, he said, like, I'm just getting this for my brother. Is he 18? Yeah, he is. Okay.
See, I guess it was easier
they
to smoke
never
back
even
then.
asked.
No.
You just walk up there and,
And
maybe
I was there for the candy. I just wanted the lick'em sticks, you know? And, a couple of drags off those sweet
Nicotine,
nicotine
death, cancer
death
sticks.
sticks.
Oh, please, no. He
Flavor Country. That's where I sit.
They're delicious.
But so yeah, it definitely goes. This might. I've never seen the show. I'm actually pretty interested, but also I'm really against like being like the kid that was against horror movies. This might churn some kind of spooky thoughts because you're talking about like him being really casual
Yeah.
about
Murdering
decapitations and
oh,
like
no. Decapitations are that's low down on the list. You're talking worse. It's worse than that. Like after the decapitation.
fornicating the head.
Yes. There you
yes.
go. There
oh,
you go.
yes.
Yeah. It's like, think about
And
when
so
you
you're
have sex
you're
with a
talking
neck
about it. It's
hole.
like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah. But he doesn't. They don't show it, but he just talk about it. So a lot of it's like in your imagination. You're like,
Right.
It's like just being very cavalier and like, oh, I did that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he just sits there and discusses it like
Ed Kemper, yeah.
we're discussing right now.
Well, then I watched a video of the real Ed Kemper, and they had it side by side with the guy from the movie, and they're the show, and they did an excellent job of portraying Ed Kemper, except he was actually better looking than the actor that portrayed him. I was kind of like, oh wow, that's weird. Usually it's the other way around. You're like, but I mean they look alike, but the actor was fatter, which is really weird. I don't know why they went with that, but maybe that guy could nail the voice. I don't know. But it was really creepy watching the real guy because when you watch these shows on TV, you're like you don't put two and two together. Then you're like, wow, that guy really did that. He really killed all those people and then had sex with their like neck hole. Everybody just went, what? Wait, what? I might have to see this show now. Now you want to watch it, right?
I'm gonna watch it now.
No, but I don't know how. I'm guessing a serial killer is maybe I don't know the statistics or like how likely you're near a serial killer.
Yeah. Well, Matt
but New Mexico has two, right? They have the guy from Elephant Butte.
Oh, that's right. The
And
guy
Truth
who-
or Consequences.
Truth or Consequences,
Yeah,
yeah.
the guy who was the Saw movies are based off of.
Yeah, like
Who-
torture chambers.
And it's
Oh yeah, that was. I read the book.
So one of the
that
times,
was
she read
bad.
the book. So I actually was talking with an FBI agent who trains. I'm not meaning like he's training, but he's the trainer of FBI agents in Albuquerque, and supposedly the death camper or whatever it was is in Albuquerque, and they use it to train.
Oh shit!
They take people through it and show them. And he would go into town and he would hire people to build things, but he would have them like build one part of something, and he wouldn't tell them what it was for, so they couldn't really put two and two together. And then when the thing, all the parts were built, he would put it together, the torture devices that he would use to torture women. Right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So you read the book. What was that about? I mean, tell.
Okay, this man actually went to Albuquerque and picked up prostitutes and would take them back to Truth or Consequences. And that's where he did his little horror chamber and
Just torture.
and torture them. And what really, the whole thing was like horrible. But what really got me when they were doing the investigation, now why, I don't know this part, I don't understand. I'm not an FBI agent. Maybe somebody here knows. They called in.
David Parker Ray was his name.
They called in.
Oh my God, that guy!
Yeah, he died of cancer not
Aw.
too long ago. Yeah, aren't we sad? But anyway, they had cameras. They took pictures of all of this torture chamber that you're talking about.
Right.
But he would also bring them in the house
Oh,
and
Did you
chain
ever
them up.
Did any of you guys ever hear that he had a pre-recorded tape that he would play for the people he kidnapped?
oh wow.
It's like an hour and 45-minute tape
Wow.
of him,
Make 'em watch it, yeah.
and he'd just be like, "Okay,
Listen.
unless anything changed, this should be up to date." And he would just, like, for an hour and a half, tell them what was going to happen to them
Yeah.
without him even being in the room. He's like, "I'm tired of making this speech."
Here you go. Welcome to the torture room.
But what I didn't understand was why did the FBI bring in an artist
Yeah.
to sketch everything after they had taken the photographs? Well, here's the strange thing about that. The lady had done, I don't know how many crime scenes. She had worked for the FBI for many, many years. And they warned her before she walked into this chamber of how horrible it was.
Okay.
And she said, okay, I'm used to this, and stuff like that. So she went in and she worked, I think it was maybe a week or longer, sketching all of this. Went back to Washington, D.C., and committed suicide.
Oh wow.
What?
Yes. And so that is what kind of, and this was written by the FBI agent that worked on the case, and also a detective. And the detective, your cousin Clint, who is district attorney,
Correct.
he wasn't district attorney at the time, but another guy was. And the other guy told him, "Oh no, we don't want any more. We want to kind of keep this quiet and so stop going so fast on your investigation." And he was kind of trying to stop it.
Really?
Yes. And then when Clint got in, he told him to go full speed ahead.
Good.
And that's how they really.
Did they talk about him in the book?
Yeah, at the end, that's the reason I bought the book. Your dad said, "Oh, Clint's
He's
in
in
there."
this book. It's probably a good read.
So I
right?
kept reading every chapter, thinking
Yeah.
because the book is horrible.
Oh, I bet.
You really, when you read that book, you the first thing you want to do is go throw it in the trash,
Yeah.
and you don't really want anybody to know you read the
But
book.
how they end up catching the guy?
Actually, a lady got away.
She got away.
Yeah.
And she ran. It was in a trailer park,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and she ran down the road and she was nude.
Wow.
Yeah, she booked it naked.
Yeah,
And so that's kind of
That's
weird
how
because
she-
that's kind of how Dahmer was, but they just kind of brought the dude back.
yeah.
Why do they always have three names?
Dahmer didn't. He was just Jeffrey Dahmer. But he was
Jeffrey Ray Domscam.
the funny thing about him, not funny thing, the weird thing about him is he broke the
Funny, weird, not funny, haha.
right.
Yeah.
He kind of broke the profile because the profile is like white male that kills women white women, you know, in their middle age. He not only didn't kill within his race, he killed men. So he was like the anomaly.
Well, not only
He's one of them.
Not only was an anomaly for that, he was an anomaly for the profiling because he was wealthy and charismatic and well liked and sociable.
So was Bundy. Bundy was
Oh,
very charismatic
yeah.
and well liked.
Yeah, he was actually going up politically at one time.
Bundy actually, to this day, the Chi Omega sorority, they can't live in the houses, from what I understand, because he killed all those Chi Omegas in the house with a wooden log. Yeah, right.
Oh, good
Because he broke out of jail, and he just needed to do some killing.
And then the only crime that they executed him for was the little girl that he
oh wow,
murdered in Florida.
is that right?
Damn.
I remember when they fried him. Mm-hmm. I totally remember that when he went the electric chair. But he was known. He wasn't like a shut-in, reclusive guy. He was always out trying to pick up women and
He was
Yeah.
very social.
very social. Let's see if they talk about this in here. But he did. He killed. He
It
killed
seems
a
like I
whole-
may have gotten those confused now.
What's that?
My notes went away.
Oh,
I think I got the my serial killers confused on that one.
oh,
I think I was describing Bundy.
oh no.
It's weird because they went from like spooky show to like macabre because it's
Yeah.
very gruesome.
Well, these to me are the real boogeymen.
Yeah, these
Oh,
are.
yeah, yeah.
And and when you're a kid growing up, you're watching like the Monster Squad or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, evil is ugly," and it's like, no, it's not. It's not ugly. It's the next door neighbor. It's the who knows. It's very very intense. But let's see if I can find that because I know he killed.
He killed somewhere like 33 to 35 women.
So in the early hours of January 15th, 1978, 1 week after his arrival in Tallahassee, Bundy entered FSU's Chi Omega sorority house through a rear door with a faulty locking mechanism. Beginning at about 2:45 a.m., he bludgeoned Margaret Bowen, 21, with a piece of oak firewood as she slept, then garroted her with nylon stocking. He then entered the bedroom of 20-year-old Lisa Levy and beat her unconscious, strangled her, tore one of her nipples, but bit deeply into her left buttock and sexually assaulted her with a hair mist bottle. Wow. Damn. He was pretty, So now to this day, they as far as I know, they can't live in the house. All the ones I know of, and they even talk about it. They're like, yeah, we can't because of that. It's like, oh, wow.
Damn.
Interesting. Like,
Wow.
okay. And so you were saying, like, I remember you telling me when I was growing up, they caught him, but he never admitted to all the people he murdered, so they think he murdered way more than he admitted to.
Then he
They
admitted
have.
to. Yeah.
Which, near the end, when they're about to fry you, just go, yeah, I did a bunch. A lot of people.
And in one of his trials, I think he defended himself.
Yeah.
Because he was so
Arrogant.
arrogant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also thought, I can win this guy over
Well,
to my side.
In a lot of that,
and-
too, like they talk about that in the Mindhunter, that's actually part of the profile, is a lot of them get off on the fact that they want to be caught, but they want you to try to, they want you to jump through hoops and make it difficult. It's a game to them. And I think he felt that way,
Yeah,
too.
like the Zodiac killer. Like he
Right.
would send letters to the police. Like
Yeah. Oh, he
Here's-
was arrogant as, and they will never caught him, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to Dr. Phil talk on, and they were talking. They were talking about sociopaths.
Okay.
Okay,
Nothing
and
wrong with sociopaths.
and and Colbert asked him if he said, well, if a person that is like a pathological liar or some whatever comes to a psychiatrist, can't you help him? Can't you help her, him, her, whatever? He said, no, we actually make them better. He said, we teach them how to be acceptable and what kind, socially and all that. So he said, we actually can never help these people.
You make
Wow.
We just make
Exceptional
them better.
liars.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just make them better at being bad. That
Yeah.
was his.
Oh, I see
that
what
was
you're
his
saying.
word. We make them better at being
We
bad.
teach them,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
Wow.
Dang.
That's pretty intense.
So, serial killers, but I was never against executing them until they were studied.
Right.
And back in the day when it first came out about serial killers, because in the show, it even at first they didn't call them serial killers.
No.
They called them something else.
God,
A
what was
person
it?
who kills a lot of people.
No, it was. Not
Recurring or
reoccurring. Yeah, not system killer or something like that.
yeah, and so I was never against them killing them because I thought they needed to be studied. And what worries me is these people that do the mass shootings now.
Yeah.
They can't study them because most of them turn the gun on themselves.
Yeah, and that's the rough part. Yeah.
And that's what scares me because how are they going to be able to
Right.
identify? You know.
Well, the weird. I mean, I hate to really talk about something that just really recently happened and it's close to a lot of people, but the guy in Las Vegas, they're starting to really, piece together a lot of stuff. And the one thing that's really, really insane is that he preset his he I don't know how he did this, and I work on computers. He preset his hard drive to erase itself. Now, why would he do that on his laptop?
Because he was planning on dying.
Yeah, but why do you give a shit if they get into your laptop after you're dead?
Well,
Because he's working for someone else.
Has to be.
I
There's something weird
received.
about
Okay,
That
I
is weird to me.
received, and after the show, I will be more than happy to show it to you guys.
Those are some pretty easy answers there, dude.
that. Not really.
I received a message from somebody,
Yeah.
and it was a gentleman talking about what really happened.
Really.
And he said that they found out that this gentleman was actually FBI.
Really?
They were the bad FBI people. And,
What do you mean the bad FBI people?
well, kind of turned rogue.
Oh.
Okay.
Left,
and
yeah.
and what he was doing, what it was actually all about was they were selling arms
Okay.
to ISIS.
Okay.
And that's what the whole thing was about, and that's why he had the cameras.
Yeah.
And then now that you come up with, well, he
Wiped his drive.
yeah,
They
why
can't-
would
they
he
can't get
do
any
that?
Data off of his,
Why?
yeah.
You know, most of the time, well, I don't know. I'm not a professional person on this, but I've always heard of them leaving some kind of a manifest. You know, like, oh, I've got to go out and kill 300 dogs because,
Right.
you know, a dog bit me when I was 12 or something.
Right.
And they don't do that anymore.
No.
So I'm like you, Chris. Why would he?
What's the purpose? Why would that matter to him once he's dead?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could just be modesty.
Could be.
Oh, please. No, not if you're going to go up there and
Shoot.
and
Yeah.
kill
Okay, well,
it.
no, okay, I'm going to go with like the comic book villain thing. It's just a failsafe. Maybe he had it set up that if he didn't come back and stop it from resetting itself,
Right. Yeah.
it probably had more targets
Evidence.
on there.
And okay. That.
But
seems-
that's like a seriously Lex Luthor thing
Yeah.
that's actually
Yeah.
in a Superman comic.
Yeah. That to me, I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's insane." You know.
Damn.
That's more than just I just decided to go rent a room and shoot a bunch of people. That to me is like that's a terrorist. You planned this out. You've sat down and you're.
Oh, for sure, terrorist.
So anyway, back to the serial killer.
Back to
thing.
serial killers. So I'm thinking of two. We have David Parker Ray, and we have one that's uncaught, the West Mesa killer.
Oh, the West Mesa killers. Yeah.
And he's still at large, and I think he's done killing. He may be dead
I'm
now.
still not even
I
convinced
think it's
that's one
I still
person.
think it's the guy from Truth or Consequences.
Oh,
David
really?
Parker Ray.
Yes,
Could
because
be.
The West Mesa has always been a great place to
Yeah.
bury bodies.
Well, and then
why not all the girls and stuff he killed? What did he do with all the bodies?
They buried him. Well, here's what people don't like. People are like, well, what are you talking about? People that are not in New Mexico or whatever. So in the West Mesa of Albuquerque, which is kind of like if you watch Breaking Bad, that's where they go out kind of to
do
you know,
business,
to
do
business,
do
like,
shady stuff.
shady stuff, and that's kind of based off really what kind of happens. It's the desert for us, But Albuquerque started to expand that way, so they started building houses, and they built a high school, a really massive 2-story high school. But when they started digging, bodies started popping up. It ended up being like 13.
And
One was pregnant, and
no one was surprised.
no, but they were all like, there's truck stops out there, and a lot of these women were prostitutes that are out there.
Everyone was like, "Oh my God, there's bodies in the West Mesa."
And it could be that. I mean, it could be, yeah, right. And it could be that it was
All I'm saying, it was a pattern of women who were prostitutes.
right.
It wasn't just like, oh, somebody went missing.
No.
And care. They were prostitutes.
And one of them was pregnant, and it's weird because I worked out there. That was one of the stations. I worked for a company that owned gas stations. Well, 9 Mile Hill, which is up the West Mesa, we had a gas station there, and you would go there and you would work on gas pumps, and you were not the only one working out in the parking lot. There was some ladies that you'd see them jump from semi to semi while you were out there.
Lot lizards.
Right. So
I started to
anyway,
say
when that came out and they started posting the photos, like the ladies that worked there, they're like, "Oh yeah, they used to come in here all the time." Almost all those ladies. So it was just really like eerie, and you got this like. A lot of times you watch on the news, you see something, you're like, "Oh wow, well that's in California or that's in Detroit or whatever," and that really hit home to me because I was like, "Oh wow, this could be somebody I just saw like last week." Who knows?
And that's locally, but
Yeah.
as far as globally, I couldn't name anyone other than like Jack the Ripper that wasn't American. As far as serial killers,
Citizen X.
That's
Yeah, he
Citizen
was.
X is the Russian.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
He killed.
Oh, okay. So there's that, but is there like a top 5
Yes.
confirmed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like admitted
there's-
to?
Yes, there is.
Are we talking like hundreds? Are we talking about
No.
Where'd my reference list go?
25?
What's this for Citizen X?
No, I'm just saying like as far as serial killers in general. Like, is there like a number one confirmed? I killed this many people, and it's whatever, like 50 or whatever.
Well, there is a list. I had it, and
Okay. Let's just give a number of victims. Here we go. Is that what you mean?
yes, they're listed by victims.
So you've got.
But they think they actually believe they killed like 300
Oh, okay.
plus.
So
but,
Luis Graviato
yeah,
from Venezuela.
yes,
Proven victims 138.
yes.
Possible
Damn.
victims between 172 and 300.
And what time period was this?
1992 to 99.
Shit, man.
He was a child murderer, torture killer, and rapist known as La Bestia, the Beast. Confessed to killing 140 boys between 8 and 16 years old over a 7-year period in Colombia and
Holy
neighboring
shit.
countries. He is suspecting of murdering over 300 victims, mostly street children, sentenced to 22 years in prison. That's it? Wow.
One
22
guy
years?
got out.
Yeah.
One of those guys
So
got out, and he's they don't know where he's at.
so the top 3 are all from Latin America.
Well, I can see that because there is definitely like I'm guessing that it's like narcotic trade
Yeah.
related. I
Sure.
don't know because you have some pretty fucked up people in cartels.
Yeah.
And they enjoy doing that. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
So-
That's my guess.
Well, the 4th one is from Brazil. There's one from China. He's the 5th one. He's got 67. Then you've got Andre, the Citizen X. No, that's not even. Is that Citizen?
No.
X? No.
Oh,
No.
I like the creepy ones, like that dude.
There's a couple from Russia.
Like the dude from like Japan that had like the weird like fused arms,
Oh wow.
What?
and he
So-
he started killing people because he was like upset because he had like a birth defect, so his arms like his wrists refused.
Oh.
That was like in
And
the
he was- he was
70s
just kind of
in
butt-
Japan.
kind of-
I can't remember what his name was.
Maybe it was that.
To tell you the truth, it's weird because like all these serial killers, most of them are not from here, which is really
Right.
odd.
See, the thing is that's crazy. That I've never heard of these people.
Well, I think because a lot of times the countries just they don't
Yeah,
I'll tell
Russia
you.
wouldn't release all
they won't
that.
release it. So the most for United States is Gary Ridgway. Truck painter who confessed to killing 71 women, also known as the Green River Killer.
I know that's I was telling you about this guy earlier.
Yeah.
And there's Oregon, and then you have Vancouver.
From 82 to 2000. Jesus.
And so, like, you would drive along because we were going to the river to swim. And in Vancouver, you go west on this road along the river, and my friend just kind of pointed out, it's like, that's where the Green River Killer worked. That's where they found all the most of the bodies. This is where that's where he lived, kind of pointing to this area of this like rural road where the Green River Killer lived.
Wow.
And then I was like, holy shit, that's kind of freaking eerie.
Well, I was reading in here, the gentleman that wrote the book for the Mindhunter said that at any given time, and right now, there's 25 to 50 serial killers active
Wow.
in the United States.
Wow.
Just in the United States.
And that's scary.
But what constitutes a serial killer? How many?
They just...
Yeah, it's true. Like, is it maybe like 10 that says, like,
Yes.
okay, that's a serial
that's
killer.
a woman.
Nope, that's a dude.
Wow.
That's a man? Oh.
All right, I found the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
He's known as the Otaku murderer.
Wow.
From 1962 to 2008. He was known for abducting and murdering young girls,
Oh, wow.
eating, cannibalism and necrophilia.
Jesus.
Oh, see, that's when it gets to that, I'm like, God damn it.
Well, they weren't
These
alive for it. at
gross.
least.
Yeah. What's
Well,
wrong with
maybe.
you? But even like Matt, we were talking before the show, you were a police officer,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So you would run into, like, so you would say yourself, you ran into situations where you were like, what is wrong with, there's no reasoning why people just did this, but they just did things just to do them. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Pull that mic over that way. There you go. So, what was the story you were telling us? Like, somebody cut somebody's open and the guy was running. You
Just for, like, hitting on somebody, like
Yeah.
his girlfriend. It seemed, like, very, like,
Yeah.
shocking and, like, kind of like, why would you do that?
Right.
Oh, a gentleman just walking down the street as I was driving, and he was bleeding. But then once you got closer, you saw that he was holding his guts.
Oh, like
And-
intestines.
And once you figure out what was going on, you ask him a few questions because he doesn't want any help.
Really? He's like, I can put my intestines back
Right.
in myself.
And he
Wow.
he ended up stating that his brother was the one who had broken a bottle and cut him open and sliced him twice. And I asked him why, and he goes, "Because I was talking to his girlfriend."
Oh, okay.
And I'm just trying to understand at what point do you lose your mind, or
Yeah.
is there something that's just not clicking to cause you to do something that, especially to somebody you know or supposed to love?
Yeah. What I don't... Okay, did you guys follow up and, like, go and talk to the brother or...
Whatever.
Oh, you can find where he came from. You just follow the blood trail back
Right.
to the house.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
what I mean,
and-
did you speak to the brother?
Yeah, it was confirmed. He admitted it, that he had gotten in a fight with his brother, and that he was the one that had stabbed him or sliced him open.
Damn.
Like, no big deal?
Yeah.
Like,
He was
yeah,
all
I
like,
did it.
I gutted
Oh,
him
wow.
like a pig.
Oh, wow.
And that bastard, and then I kicked him out of the house.
So I mean, you have to. I mean, you arrest him for assault and battery, or
Attempted murder?
Attempted murder at
yeah.
that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Huh? So
Because
the guy
of the-
live?
be-
I mean,
Don't know.
don't know.
Would you say, like, as far as you following serial killers, do you believe that maybe there's nothing that could be done, or maybe they were abused or whatever as kids, and they were taught, and there's a way of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is it basically, like, are you born a serial killer, or are you made that way?
I think it could be both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. In most of those mind hunters shows, they kind of indicate that it's the mother.
Yeah, it always seemed to be that.
Yeah, and the mother
that's why they-
mistreated the child in some way,
And that's why they attack women usually.
yeah. Now, but still, I think I don't know that Ted Bundy's mother
No.
mistreated him, and I don't know that Jeffrey Dahmer's mother mistreated him, but I think in some cases I agree with Matt and Chris on this that they're just born. I mean, it just like a light switch goes off
Yeah, like,
somewhere,
it's like
sometime in their life.
something miscues in your brain, and
Right.
like you're just like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna kill people. That's kind of cool.
But couldn't
Yeah.
there be something where the normal person who has the ability to say, I'm not going to act upon those thoughts?
Mhm.
Some people don't have that option, or they become into that morbid setup where they want to explore those thoughts and see how much further it can carry them. Well, then that ends up turning into an erotica for them instead of just exploring. It's now their new erotica
Right.
before sex or after sex.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the finisher. This is the start
Right.
into
Yeah.
that point. And there's a lot of people who don't explore that because they know to turn it off at that point.
Right, and they can't.
Well, yeah.
And they can't. This is a great line that kind of, I think nails that home. Bundy was executed by electric chair at the Florida State Prison near Stark, Florida on January 24th, 1989. Biographer Ann Rule described him as a sadistic sociopath who took pleasure from another human's pain and the control he had over his victims to the point of death and even after. He once called himself the most cold-hearted son of a bitch you'll ever meet. Attorney Polly Nelson, a member of his last defense team, agreed. Ted, she wrote, was the very definition of heartless evil.
And
Damn.
I now it's possible,
And see,
but
that,
I
that
never
takes
heard.
effort.
Yeah.
I never heard
That's what the
anything
person-
about his mother being the bad guy.
When the person who defends you in court is like...
That
yeah,
means he set a goal and he went for it.
Yeah.
right.
Right. Exactly. Like it
Damn.
was like a job.
Well, he blamed it all on pornography.
Really.
That's what he said.
Really?
Bundy?
Now, Bundy. He blamed it on pornography.
That's well before the internet. Dang.
When he started, well, like Playboy magazine, little boys.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, back in Ted Bundy's day,
Yeah.
that would have been real hot stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
It's so tame and cute.
Well, I mean,
Right.
okay, but you know what
Sure,
I'm saying.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. So the show Mindhunter, it's on Netflix.
I might go with risque.
Yeah. Check it out. I think it's pretty amazing. We're near the end of the first hour. We're going to do another hour. I think we're going to probably lighten it up a little bit, kind of bring it back down from
I actually had some topics.
That's
Sure.
right. Actually,
And
let's give sociopaths a better name. All right.
Okay.
Well, it was like when is sociopathic come into like psychopathic? Is there
Right.
like a line?
Well, neither of those are actual medical terms.
right.
Oh, okay.
Well, which one in Mindhunter said that? And please don't take this as I'm referring to anyone, because these gentlemen weren't. This is back in the 70s. That sociopaths are everywhere, all the way up to the White House,
Yeah.
and so
Right.
I'm not talking about anybody.
Okay.
And I'm not getting political.
I have some teaser topics. Horror movie actors and their net worths, and are they okay? For a second hour, I have
Oh, I like serial killers myself.
trick or treaters, and when is it good? When's a good cutoff age?
Yeah, that's a good one.
12.
People still trick or treat.
oh,
Yes.
Is that even allowed?
Yeah.
Billy still trick or
People
treats.
still do.
Yeah, yeah. So and
Oh yeah, I
weird
bet
stuff you
adults.
do in the pumpkin patch.
Whoa. All right.
You wait for the great pumpkin.
Okay.
I know.
Weird
So-
shit you do in the pumpkin
I want to
patch.
thank you guys for listening. We'll stick around for the second hour. I'm going to stop the video and fix it and then restart it. That way it's not freezing up. Thank Matt for being on the show. They're going to stick around. We'll be back for a second hour.
For
We'll
the
take a break.
okay, so what's spooky and wavy together? Wavy,
Swavy?
wavy hour.
Hour. And now we're going to use the restroom.
Or
Y'all-
Spo-
That sounds
Bovie.
like suave. I don't know what
Or
you're doing.
Spovey.
I'm gonna go
Or-
for a Swavy hour.
Wooski.
So
Spooky.
check us out on facebook.com/10drink. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just go to 10drinkminimum.com. You can add all kinds of stuff on there.
And can I also add another topic for the next
Yes.
hour? The Clovis ghost.
Oh, that's right.
Caught on camera.
Caught on camera. On camera.
Oh wait.
Yeah, it was
Can I
right over
promote
there.
something too?
Yeah.
I will be on next Monday's NBC The Brave.
Nice.
I think it comes on at like 8 or 9. Check your local listings. I'm
Check
not
your
sure.
local listings. Watch it so that they keep it so Smiley has a job.
Yes, it's
And
actually
write
holes.
NBC and tell them we want to see Midnight Texas again.
also do that too because I work on that as
Nice.
well.
Definitely check out our show. Let's see. Definitely check out our show on Facebook. Like us on there, all that cool stuff media-wise. And then definitely drink when you watch the show. We always do. But always remember, never get too drunk to drink.